Hello, welcome to another episode of Mike and Dave's Hi-Fi Riff. I'm Mike Evans.
And I'm David Price.
And David, in the name of all that's holy, what on earth are we going to be talking about this week?
Okay, there we go.
What on earth?
So,
what on earth?
Well, I'm showing you the rear to start
already.
With, Mike. I know that's one of your interests.
What can you say?
So, yes. So there we go, and it does have a front as well.
It's kind of guess the product from this angle, actually, isn't it?
Yes. But I think we'll probably be saying what the product is on the name of the video, so I don't think we can continue with this much longer before the format fails completely.
No,
this is a Technics SL-10, and currently plugged in, as you can see, and it's quite heavy, weighs 6.5 kilograms.
Look at that.
And,
what a piece of engineering, though. I mean, in all seriousness, it is just the most amazingly well put together product.
It is.
Isn't it? It's just
exquisite.
Yours is, I'm looking at it quite closely for the first time. It's in great nick, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not quite perfect, but it's still very good.
I think it's as good as it gets. How old is this?
This is going to be 1980. So,
wow.
43 years old, rather.
God, that's phenomenal, isn't it?
Yes, it's. I'd like to say thank you to my very good friend Tim Jarman for fixing it for me.
Okay.
It died, but it's now living again, and that's why we can do a riff on it.
Okay.
Because here we go.
So I've got a couple of questions.
Yeah.
In 1980.
Yeah.
How much would this have cost you?
I think it was £395.
That's a lot, actually.
Yeah.
That's got to be Linsonic money, hasn't it?
Well, I think in 1980, LP12s were around 295 quid.
Wow.
So,
okay.
Plus, obviously, you'd have to have a tone arm and a cartridge.
Sure.
But if you had an LP12 with a basic LVV tone arm,
yes,
and a Riga R100 cartridge,
it would be cheaper than this.
It would still be cheaper than this.
Yes. Yeah. Wow. And my second question, my follow-up question is, how much did you pay for it, and where did you get it from?
None of your business. So there we go. No, actually, eBay. Actually, there's quite a few of them on eBay.
Are there?
Still, most of them are knackered.
Yes, I was going to say.
But there are some, quite a few which have been reasonably well preserved. So I got this is my second one. I got my first one for £40.
No way.
Working perfectly with the original Technics EPC 310 moving core cartridge, which was perfect.
And that was actually quite a good cartridge, to be fair.
It was a great cartridge.
This has even got its own step-up transformer, hasn't it, built in?
Yeah. So this has got a head amp, as you say. It's not a transformer. It's a electronic phono stage, but it's So basically, you can. Let's try and open it up, as the surgeon said to the.
Look at that. That's just fantastic, isn't it? Linear tracking.
Yeah, it's. I'll just speak from behind this.
Linear tracking.
You can see me through the window there. So, So it's hopefully the microphone can hear me. So it has got it's a quartz lock direct drive motor, very high quality one. Wow and flutter is 0.025%, which is much lower than a Lin, really good. It's pretty much Technics SL-1200 level wow and flutter. Rumble, I think, is minus 78 dB. Again, that was a fantastic stat. Even now, let alone 43 years ago, your average kind of project debut or Riga, planar one or something would really struggle for that to get that. It's got a moving core phono head amp. It's also got the ability to be used via 12 volts, so you can bypass its internal mains transformer.
Wow!
So if you're into caravanning or camping,
of course,
it's just perfect.
Plug it into your car battery.
You can. Yep, plug it into your car battery, and it sounds better when you power it from
of course.
DC.
Yeah.
But it's got. There we go. It's got a. Obviously, it's a linear tracking system, and it's got the basically sort of put down the sort of blueprint of the later Technics linear tracking turntables, and also many other Japanese ones of the 1980s. And the SL-10 was kind of the first. It wasn't the first ever linear tracking. That's not true. There were various things done by Rabco and I think even Pioneer and others doing linear tracking before. But this kind of brought together, it was kind of like an iPod or an iPhone. It brought a lot of popular, clever tech together in one package, basically. So you've got the fantastic... Whoops. Got the fantastic... thank you, Mike, for laughing. So, just been...
that was brilliant.
Nearly broke
Can you
my
do that
nose
again?
there. No. You've got the fantastic...
6 kilos of vessel.
So,
brilliant.
If only my car boot was as springy as this. So, there we go. So, yeah, you've got the great drive system. You've got the... it'll do the same to you later.
It's like Rod Hull and Emu.
Yeah, I'm just going to...
For Hi-Fi Riff.
It is. So, but it's going to attack you next.
Yes.
So this is we're reliving Russell Harty on air now.
We could take this around with us, couldn't we? Do the circuit.
Have you ever been attacked by a Technics SL-10 before? Yeah. So as I was trying to say before I so rudely interrupted...
You interrupted yourself by smacking yourself around the head with it.
Yeah, so there we go. It's so you've got a little thing to hang it up on the wall. It will work vertically. It will work like that if you want it to.
Just crazy.
So there you go.
We were playing some music earlier, and when it got to the end of the record, a little light comes on inside, so you can watch the linear tracking go back. It's really sweet, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's seriously cool.
So
and
the central clamp there.
Yes.
If you look at it from the outside, it's got a stroboscopic marking and a little light that lights up for the strobe.
It's lovely
in the middle.
I love it.
In fact, we might be able to... I'm just going to turn it on now. So there we go.
Look at that. It's a little bit fiddly to find the next song each time, isn't it? If you wanted to use it through sort of serial access.
Yes.
Or random access, and because you've got to get it just right on your sort of rocker switch, haven't you, on the front?
So it's switched on now. It's got a little light. It lights up to
glorious.
So we're now going to demonstrate how it works by playing Mike's favourite records. There you go.
This can only go downhill.
Would you like to take that out?
Oh my God! Look at this. You're kidding me. Emerson, Lake and Palmer. They actually look quite cool on the front there.
Yeah, looks like a Bee Gees album.
It does actually, yeah.
So,
it's in a brown paper sleeve. How appropriate.
Yeah.
Like some hard liquor.
Yeah. It's called Love Beach by Emerson, Lake and Palmer.
My gosh. What's this got on it then? It hasn't got...
no, it hasn't got any of the good songs.
There we are, look. So got fanfare for the common man.
So,
brilliant, look at that.
Down there.
Wow. I met Carl Palmer's dad once. He's a really nice guy.
That's just the sort of thing you say all the time, isn't it?
I met him at La Manga in Spain.
Oh, right.
He's a really nice bloke.
What, are you hiding from the government or the police or something?
I was playing golf.
Oh, okay.
Same thing.
Yeah.
This is 1978.
Yeah.
Gosh, look at that.
Wow. Show the viewers, Mike.
Sorry. I was just getting a little bit
there you go.
Bit carried away with Emerson, Lake and Palmer then.
This is typical of Mike, by the way, viewers. So whenever Mike used to buy records on a discount, he used to leave the labels on until he'd shown me. So it'd be like, Scritti Politti, and it'd say 50p or something like that. So
they've got, look at this, there's merch. You can buy merch. Oh wow! Look at that. That's immaculate. That you should frame that. We could buy a satin jacket.
Wow!
I wonder how much that is.
What's that? That's a Love Beach jacket.
A Love Beach satin jacket. Yeah. I'm a bit disappointed. There's no prices on it. There's a postage and handling charge of $1.
Yeah.
Gosh, it comes from Illinois, but there's no prices. That's a shame. We could have ordered some stuff.
Yeah.
Wonder what happens if you do now.
What's that there? That's not... Oh, yeah. Satin feel jogging shorts with Love Beach written on it.
That's just brilliant. We've got to have some of those for the riff, haven't we?
Well, you have. I'll pass, thanks.
I bet you didn't know that was in there, did you? Anyway, look, we were talking about your turntable.
That's because it's your record. So, anyway... to bring this rapidly failing video back on track, if you pardon the pun, and now that my nose isn't hurting anymore. So there we go. And Mike, would you like to press the start button?
Yeah, I'd love to, actually.
Holding it up.
There we go. Look at that. It's spinning away. So we just had a little listen to this with Alphonse Mouzon and Dennis Waterman. And it's brilliant. Isn't it? Well, it's just fantastic.
Yeah, observant viewers will notice the light has gone out inside the record compartment, which means it's now playing. And it will play.
It will.
Like that.
It's just, you could hang it on the wall.
You can, yeah.
It's brilliant. We put it on a box.
Yeah.
We just put it on one of those storage boxes you can get and played it, and it was just amazing. It's like, just flies in the face of everything we've ever been taught.
Yes. Would you like to hold Love Beach in front of the Technics to demonstrate its size?
Yeah, it's look at that. It's almost exactly the same as an album, isn't it?
Yeah. So it was designed to replicate exactly the dimensions of Emerson, Lake and Palmer's Love Beach album.
Just perfect.
So
12 by 12.
Absolutely. There we go.
Yeah.
So and then would you like to cue it, Mike, by pressing the up and then the play button to move it basically to the right?
Oh gosh. Okay.
So.
Oh yes, I see. Okay.
You need to press it a bit more so it'll move across.
Yeah. Oh, I see. I've got you.
Yeah. There we go.
Isn't that so cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just fantastic. So you were saying, on a technical point of view, that the very small tone arm is inherently very rigid.
Yep.
So actually tracks really, really well.
Yeah, it's a stiff and rigid arm. It's the basically the sort of P-mount type cartridge, which is, you can still buy. Audio-Technica do a P-mount. This one has got an OMP5 in it, Ultron OMP5, which is no longer available.
No, okay.
But you can still buy the styli. So basically, you can put an OMP40, spend nearly 400 quid on a Fritz Geiger Super Mega Turbo stylus.
Wow! Could you imagine?
Yeah. Or you can just spend about 35 quid on a decent new Audio-Technica P-mount. Or you could get the original Technics moving core cartridge, which this one came with, but is knackered. Get that retipped.
Yeah, excellent. Get it Van den Hold.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, nice one. I think it's brilliant. I love the idea of this. But what I'm amazed
to play the stop.
Of course. There we go. But what I'm really amazed by here is actually that it's not just sort of form over function, is it?
No.
It actually works really well. It sounds really good. You said it has the same motor, I think, as the SL-12. Is that right? Which is why it's
sort of SL-1200 type motor.
Okay.
Very good Technics direct drive motor.
Hence, it's very low.
Very low wound
flutter figures.
Amazing. So just a beautiful design, really. It's kind of like the iPhone that brought together the iPod and sort of the phone and all the various bits and pieces and the apps and so on in one package. And this kind of I think sort of absolutely perfects the idea of a record player. It's portable. It can do moving coil, moving magnet. It's super easy to use. It's super compact. And never, mutes the speakers when it's queuing.
It's clever stuff, isn't it?
Won't blow up your hi-fi when you use it. It's really low noise, really low rumble. There's no hum, anything like that. And it was kind of like the last, the fierce last stand of vinyl before CD arrived.
Well, but also that's not quite right, because you said there were a couple which followed, which tried to do sort of flashy things, but never quite worked as well, never quite sounded as good. With the ones with the sort of trying to do the intelligent tracking and all of these things. So, but this was sort of the pinnacle, I think, wasn't it? Of the probably the best linear tracking turntable you can get, isn't it?
I think absolutely, it's one of the very best. So absolutely, what happened with this? This came out in 1980. I think it was previewed at the Japanese Audio Show in late '79, September, October '79. But within a year or so, CD was in the air. Philips had leaked pictures of their compact disc system. I think Sony had as well. and everyone's kind of collective focus was looking at CD.
Yes, yeah.
It's almost like now everyone's looking at EVs, EV cars,
yes,
electric cars. So people are still buying, petrol and diesel or whatever, but it's a sense that something's coming and changing, and so this was the same. It was one of the most kind of mature and sophisticated expressions of vinyl, of analog turntables, and yet there was something else coming. So it didn't really catch on in the way that you'd expect. If this had arrived, like 5 years earlier, it would have absolutely transformed the turntable market. And I think that the vast majority of turntables would be, linear tracking in this kind of format.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it kind of came a tiny bit too late, I think. But what they did do, they kind of downscaled them. So the SL-7 was a lot less heavy. It was a more plasticky version with very similar internals. Still sounded very good, but not quite as good. And then they did various other versions. I think the SL5, SL3, loads of other sort of spin-offs, and various other manufacturers started doing the similar kind of linear tracking sort of thing, copies, basically.
I mean, the thing is, obviously everything became miniaturized after that. Yeah. But if you think about it, I mean, we had a pal of ours called A.D. Bolton, who was a really good lad, and he had one in a Ghetto Blaster, didn't he? He had a linear tracking turntable.
Sharp or something.
It was either Sharp or JVC, something like that. Yeah. And also, I remember you could get them in a car, couldn't you? Yeah. Get a linear tracking turntable in a car. It wouldn't skip too much.
Yeah. So,
which is amazing.
Well, the turntable maybe, but certainly the car, did.
I'm sure it was. I'm sure they put them in Rolls Royces at one point.
Yeah,
or maybe totally.
I was thinking about your 1.3 Capri.
Oh my God, yes, yeah. It wouldn't go with that in it. It wouldn't actually move
get
forward.
Up a hill, would it?
It wouldn't. No,
with an extra 6.5 kilograms, it would be.
It would tip it over the edge.
It would.
So look, let's do a riff on your lovely turntable here. What are you going to give it?
So firstly, I want to say about the sound. It's not as good as an LP12, a gyrodeck, or whatever, or any of the sort of high-end Japanese direct drives. It's not as good as an SL-1200, etc. But it does have a very kind of crisp and clean and fuss-free sound. So it's still fun to listen to in the way that any good turntable is fun to listen to.
Yes.
It's musically satisfying. And if you put a decent cartridge in it, which is an OMP 40 Autophon in this case would be, or a retipped Technics 310 moving coil or whatever, it's a genuinely nice thing to listen to. It's way better than, we listened to the Wim Pro Streamer, didn't we?
Yes, yeah.
Which is a kind of fave-rave cheap streamer at the moment, and this sounded so much better.
It did, yeah.
So it's not bad at all in performance-wise. It's not a high-end audiophile turntable, but it's a great deck that does, sounds really good. It's got very, very low rumble, wow and flutter, all that kind of stuff. So you wouldn't buy it solely as an audiophile purchase, but as a kind of all-round usable turntable. It was just superb, I think, wasn't it?
It's seriously cool.
Absolutely genre-defining.
Yes.
So I'm going to give it a 10.
It's got the cool factor, hasn't it? It really has. And I've learnt also in my time, particularly on Hi-Fi Riff, not to slag off anything Technics make, because we get a massive backlash in the comments. So I'm equally going to give it a 10 because it's the most beautifully quirky thing we've reviewed in a long time. Yes. And also, you've got to give it 10 just for that build quality. It's just beautifully put together.
Absolutely, maybe even 11 for the build. It's
incredibly solid. I'm going to ask my question again, which you completely ignored earlier.
Sorry.
If I want to buy one of these in as lovely condition as this, what am I looking at on eBay to pay for that?
Really good condition,
as
working,
nice as that.
Working ones like 800, maybe.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe 500 on a good day, if
Sure.
If you're bidding at the right time, as it were.
Yeah, but it's lovely.
Yeah,
it's lovely.
But you can. This is the thing. You can still buy. If a lot of them will have knackered cartridges. But you can still buy. Audio-Technica offer. I've forgotten the name of the model, but it's on their website. Just 30 quid will get you a half decent
moving
magnet cartridge, and you're up and running. or if you want to get, a bit fussy like me, I got an OM5 cartridge, and I'm going to pull the stylus out and put a 40 in or a 30, which is a really good high quality stylus in it. And you can get a very good sound out of that.
I think this will work really nicely in addition to your other sort of turntables. I think it'll look really cool. It won't look out of place with some of the really stylish ones you've got, like the Jaradec and things like that. So I think it'll be brilliant.
Yeah.
But I'm really glad you brought in this lovely piece of.
I
feel like it's Hi-Fi Antiques Roadshow Day today, isn't it?
I am Arthur Negus.
You are indeed.
So who's the other presenter?
Well, Rod Hull, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes you Rod Hull then, Mike.
And on that note,
I'm not on that bombshell. I'm not sure who wins that one.
No, absolutely.
So there we go.
But thank you very much for bringing in Emerson, Lake and Palmer as well. So excellent. It's been a good riff. And we'll look very much forward to seeing you at the next one. Thanks very much indeed. Bye-bye.
Bye.